Good morning, everybody. I decided to have my first kind of decorations on me for the beginning of December. So I've got my plum pudding jersey and my tinsel and my reindeer. What is it? My antlers. This is now the 2nd of December, and I called it Lucky Wednesday, but it's not strictly really all about luck. But I did ask last week for some topics, and somebody posted up how lucky I am, and another person private messaged me saying, what about people? How do you handle difficult people? So I thought, we're into December. Many people were still feeling uncertain of what the future holds. We're overwhelmed, anxious, not just with the COVID virus, but now there's more decisions. Yes, good news. About vaccines, but now there's lots of decisions. People are kind of worried about that as well still. But I'm going to still try to give you tips to keep you calm for December and as we approach Christmas, because it's all very well to say, well, now we're kind of getting through everything and 2021 is going to be better. But there was the sad news, really, of losses of jobs through the collapse of the Arcadia Group. And so many people have lost their jobs this year. The small businesses who are struggling. It's been very, very difficult, and that they don't just recover overnight, so there will be lots of stresses. So I hope you're reading my blogs and looking at or listening to my podcast as well, because it's a time for trying to think. I know it's very difficult if you've got children, but really it is to think about. It's not how much you spend, but how much love you give. Very, very difficult at this time of year. So combining kind of the two topics, because how lucky I am and how to deal with difficult people, I thought really it's all to do with being grateful and feeling worthy. Both of them could fall into that. So that's why I kind of called it Lucky Wednesday. It's more like the Be Grateful Wednesday. So on the topic of being lucky, sometimes many of you might think, oh, Lady Luck just only smiles on a few people and it never seems to smile on me. We maybe feel that it's around everyone else but us. And you've probably heard, certainly in Glasgow, there's a phrase for some: if you fall into the Clyde, you'd come out with your pockets filled with gold. So some people just seem to have that ability, or just have luck fall on them. But is this really true? You can turn Lady Luck around to favour you. And can you? Yes, the answer is yes. You can turn things around. It means taking advantage of the right opportunities and achieve your goals through hard work. Yes, you need to have hard work, of course. So some of the tips then. You need to widen your social circle. That's whether it's family, friends, business people. The more connections you make, the more opportunities will open up for you. Now, that's why there's a lot of focus on business people going to networking meetings. Now, there's a specialist way of really dealing with networking. You don't just sort of push your business card in front of people. That's not really what networking's about, and don't expect things to happen kind of immediately, but you might need to network more to find opportunities, because you've maybe lost your job or lost business through no fault of your own, but through the economic difficulties or the pandemic. So remember, networking doesn't mean instant opportunities. It's like making that connection, and there is a knack to it. Don't, as I say, push your business cards under people's noses. In fact, one of the good tips is be a good listener. And I think I told a story many months ago about on a long haul flight, just somebody listening to someone else talking, and when they got off after 8 hours, he remembers the person saying, "Oh, listen, you've been absolutely fantastic." And of course, he'd said nothing about himself. He'd listened. So many people actually don't have anyone listening to them. So, sounds crazy, but many people aren't listened to. So be a good listener. And of course, another tip for opportunities is my ABC, particularly the C. Use your creative imagination. Just visualize yourself. Imagine yourself successful. Be positive. Stop moaning. No one wants to hear negativity all the time. There's enough of that around just now. And don't be the glass half empty, or worse still, the glass empty kind of person. We all know someone like that, and you kind of go, oh no, right, I don't want to meet them today. So you start avoiding them, and you need to avoid them because you need positivity. I've talked before about athletes. Now, athletes are people who they don't think, oh well, I'll win that next year, I'll go for that gold medal next year. They actually visualize, they imagine themselves having won. They actually hold the trophy in their hand. And of course, in addition to that, they prepare with hard work. So if you've got an interview to go to, or there's something you really want to do, prepare and work hard, but imagine yourself in the role. Just imagine yourself having got that job. And another thing is with luck, in a sense, what goes around comes around. This refers to doing something for others. When you should help others, not just because it's kind, because it's the right thing to do, and you'll reap the benefits. When you do this, it reminds you of how lucky you are, and just be grateful for what you have. Sometimes, of course, your good deeds come back to you in unexpected ways. Sometimes when you just don't expect it at all. Be flexible and adaptable. Experience new things. This stops you from getting bored. You don't get stuck in a rut. You look for new opportunities. And of course, I think again, I told a story many months ago about the people I was lecturing at the time, and 2 people had been made redundant. And it was interesting that one that was it, life was over, it was all negative. The other one actually said to me, I hated my job anyway. So it's an opportunity for me to do something new. So it's interesting, we have different attitudes for different things. And to me, the one that wins, in fact, it will come across in an interview, the kind of positive person that you are. So be positive. Take yourself out of your comfort zone. Be resilient and tenacious. Never quit. And never forget that sort of hard work wins the day. You need to put in the hard work as well. It's not just all about sitting back and doing nothing. Professor Richard Wiseman, he's a psychologist, he carried out studies about luck, and he found that if you think you'll be lucky, then you'll experience more good fortune. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So why be negative when you can be positive? So that's the main tip, is be positive. See challenges as opportunities to grow. Setbacks and challenges, we all have them, some more than others, but they're there for you to learn. And sometimes if you don't learn from one challenge, another bigger one comes along. So there are messages there. So never quit. If you learn from these, new opportunities open up for you. And there's every year, a friend and I usually say to each other, at the beginning of the year, this will be our year. And I think we've been saying that for years, but I never kind of lose sight of that. I think, well, I've always wanted to progress Mind Circles. So 2021, this has actually been a year, even 2020 for me has been a year to kind of promote the philosophy of Mind Circles. And I'm happy to do these live videos and the podcasts. Really delighted to do that. And I'll continue to do that. But I've got exciting things for Mind Circles. I'd written well-being books, a series of well-being books, and it seems that it's quite funny actually that a lot of people don't want to know about well-being. They think, well, I feel well, I'm fine anyway, my mental health, there's nothing wrong with me. And it's not that, it's about thinking about how you can improve yourself. Not everybody has a serious mental health issues, but we all do have days where we need something. We need this kind of friend on the shoulder, and that's what a few people have said to me. That's what like my ABC is. It's like a friend on the shoulder. So I'm going to actually turn these books into like having a Mind Circles online. I don't really know what to call it. Is it a course? Do we start? Do we finish? I mean, personal development and well-being doesn't actually finish. It's ongoing all your life. So, and who wouldn't want to improve their well-being? So you'll need to look out for exciting news there. And if you join my Mind Circles community or get friends to join, then they will get a newsletter about it, and I'll post up about launching this. I think we'll be going into 2021 with just new vigour on it. So I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait. So I want people to join a thriving community who are thinking about their well-being. One of the books, of course, is called People. So that gets me to the other topic. Somebody says, oh, how do I deal with difficult people? Well, it's interesting that we all meet difficult people. We've all had to deal with difficult people. And of course, I would love if people wanted to read the book itself, People, but it'll be part of the Wellbeing series. But the first thing that actually, before you look at any other books really in the Wellbeing series, is actually self-awareness. You need to know about yourself before you can look at other people or know what they're about. So you need to know really in depth what you're like. So I can't go through the whole book in this video, but what I can do is give you sort of tips on how to deal with yourself and others. And the first thing, I'm like a broken record again, but it's past conditioning. You need to let go of this. We've all been conditioned in the past. Maybe you were someone that you can hear this phrase, maybe your parents or school teachers or somebody saying, stop being so annoying, stop being so annoying. So you actually believe you're an annoying person. So that kind of carries you into adulthood. So you need to ditch that. You need to stop thinking of yourself as that annoying person. So ditch your labels, ditch the past conditioning. You also need to look at, when you're dealing with people, not just what they're saying, but you need to look at their speech, their vocal, that means their tone of speech, it's how something is said, and their body and their facial language. So there's a lot involved there. Don't be coerced into anything. Do what is right and not what is expected. And of course, remember, you've got choices. If somebody asks you to do something, you've got no, yes, or none of them. Now, I think I know a problem I've had is I've had difficulty in saying no. And often if I say no, I've got to kind of qualify it with a reason. You don't really need to have a reason. You don't need to give a reason for saying no. Be positive if you're with a difficult person. Now, it depends on the situation, because there's difficult people in the home situation or friends, and there's also at work. So the best thing is not to react. Don't react. Don't act in haste either. Try and stay calm, stay focused. If you can't do that, maybe excuse yourself to go to the little room and just sit for a minute and do your ABC. But it's vital that you stay calm. The power of the mind, never underestimate the power of the mind. Change your thoughts, particularly your self-talk. I mean, really, it's vital. You need to empower yourself as well. Think well of yourself. And an affirmation you could say is, only the best is good enough for me. You're saying this in your head. So if somebody's ranting and raving, just take yourself in your head somewhere else and try and focus. Who's in charge of your life anyway? Really, it's you. And remember, you can't reason with an unreasonable person. Impossible. You can't, all you can do is like better manage the situation or the person. And some of the tips that, it might seem unnatural because your instinct is maybe to rant back and get angry. Because when you're dealing with difficult people, this fear response kicks in. That's your fight or flight. So you need to differentiate with this difficult person. Is this someone yelling at you? You have to differentiate between the person yelling at you and is it the vicious dog that's about to bite you? So just be wary and stay calm. Effective communication, remember I talked about that ages ago, like where you have to focus and attend, you acknowledge, you clarify and respond. There's the 4 sort of steps that can go round and round. Now with a difficult person, the first thing to do is focus. So you can listen. It's listen, listen and listen again. Sometimes these difficult people have never actually been listened to. They've just, if somebody started shouting, somebody's shouting back. So focus on what they're saying and stay calm. Do not react and just breathe. Just do your breathing, not obviously so that they think, but they kind of know that you're listening to them and they feel they're being listened to. And of course, don't judge. You don't know what the other person is going through. You don't know if they've had a bad day or why they're acting unreasonably. They might be feeling vulnerable. They might be frightened. Remember, they'll have past conditioning as well. Now, if someone's treating you badly, of course, in personal relationships, don't react as well. It doesn't resolve anything. If, of course, you're in a situation where it's not safe, you need to get out, obviously. But if you're at work and there's someone else around, try and catch their eye and see if they can come into the situation to diffuse it. Say it's an angry customer. And, of course, I think in training with dealing with the public when it's an angry customer, sometimes the best thing is just to say, look, I'm sorry, madam, or I'm sorry, sir, can we help you? Even if it's not your fault, but it kind of diffuses the situation. If you react, it just makes things worse. And you could try maybe saying, look, I fully understand, but of course, you need to tell me more so that I can understand. Because sometimes when you say the words like, oh, I understand, they actually know that you don't understand. So that can be difficult as well. I often say, find a funny moment in everything or smile. Don't laugh or smile at these moments because they will imagine, whether you're doing it or not, that you're laughing at them. So that again, although it might lighten the mood, it can actually make the situation worse. So in fact, it depends very much on the situation. Don't go on the defensive. This is natural if someone's saying things to you that are not true, because emotions are running high, and remember, you're wanting to say, it wasn't me, that isn't me, it's not my fault. So remember, this isn't about you. That other person, for whatever reason, has got angry, and difficult though it may seem, don't take it personally. And don't return anger with anger. It just escalates everything. Wait, focus and take a breather. And if it's, of course, if there's a dangerous situation or you feel unsafe, you need to get out. Don't argue. It's just so difficult, but you need to remove yourself. And of course, set boundaries. If it's a relationship that where you're not feeling, well, if you're in danger or you're in threats of life, yes, you have to get out. But if it's something where you're just having an argument, when things calm down, set boundaries. You need to be assertive. Now, when they're angry, don't say it then. It's when, remember, you can't reason with an unreasonable person. So wait till things have calmed down and then you can say, look, don't talk to me that way. It's not acceptable. And above all, again, remain safe. If you know things are going downhill fast, you need to get out. But remember, every situation is different. And of course, if it's a work situation, after the event, after the situation, talk to someone about what happened. You need to get that debrief. As you've put your own emotions on hold, because I'm saying calm down, don't react. So that's you putting your emotions on hold. And that's not good for you. So after the event, after the situation, after the anger, you need to look after yourself. You need to de-stress. You need to take time out. Go for a walk. Go for where you can be alone. And as they say, when I used to be perhaps in situations like that, Fortunately, I remove myself now. I don't want to be in these situations. But you can actually take yourself off somewhere quiet, maybe out in the countryside, and just scream, shout, just get it out of your system because you've held in all these emotions. Punch a pillow, they say. There's all sorts of things, you can sort of get your emotions out when you're alone. And of course, affirm to yourself, I handled that well. Tell yourself, I handled that well. It takes a lot of energy not to react to someone. And if someone's behaving badly, you're holding all these emotions in, and it really hits you. So you need to remind yourself what a fabulous person you are. And you can affirm to yourself just in your head. You don't need to boast to others. Just say, I handled that well. I handled that well. I am me and I am fabulous. Say something positive, like only the best is good enough for me. So many people are in situations and relationships where they're just put down all the time. It hits your self-esteem, and you really need to bring your self-esteem up. And you can do that. Obviously, there's a long term you have to think about it, but in the short term, you can boost yourself and say, I am a fabulous person and I feel good. I cope with things best. Only the best is good enough for me. And of course, breathe. Remember that breathing diffuses a situation right away. So as soon as somebody rants, in my head, I can take 3 deep breaths, and you can't do anything else when you're focusing on your breath. The other thing is take yourself in your head maybe to a safe place. So what I thought I'd do is, I feel a bit ridiculous myself giving all this advice, with my reindeer. Maybe take the reindeer antlers off as I go into the meditation today. The Mind Bites meditation that I'm going to do is a safe place. Taking yourself off to your safe place. This meditation helps you to stay away from negative people. It takes you somewhere where you feel safe. You remain confident. It reduces stress and actually lets go of fear. So if we just remember, you can't change other people. You can only change yourself, and you do have choices, even if they are very difficult ones. I made difficult choices, and you can do it, but sometimes it can be difficult. I know that. So many things are not in your control. So why be frightened of life? Why live in anger, live in fear? The choice is yours. So be positive. So we're going to end, and as always, we just put our feet on the ground, on the carpet, and we can take ourselves into our lovely safe place. So if you close your eyes and take a deep breath in through the nose, hold, and then exhale through the mouth. Take another deep breath in through the nose. Feel your back stretching, so you just feel that confidence rising. And then exhale through the mouth. Now imagine a place where you like to be. This can be anywhere. Somewhere you like to go to dream or just sit. Imagine your surroundings. All around you is quiet. You feel safe because this is your place. No one can enter this place unless you want them to. You feel comfortable being there. You have no fears when you are there. This is your safe place. Remember this safe place. Know that you can take yourself to your safe place anytime you want or need. Now take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold and then exhale. Take another deep breath in through the nose. Hold. And as you exhale, say to yourself, I feel calm. I am positive. I feel safe. I am no longer anxious. I know I can take myself to my same safe place anytime I need or want. And then open your eyes and just shake your shoulders and stretch. Just bring yourself back into the now. I hope you enjoyed that, but you can make up your own safe place. Just imagine where you'd like to be. Some people want to be at the sea, at the beach, in the woods, wherever. But just remember that only you can change you. And why live in fear and anger? As long as you're not hurting anyone else, just live life on your terms, but never be afraid. And if your safety is of any concern, you do need to get out, and we know that. And of course, if you're really finding life just so difficult or too difficult, please seek professional help. But all these little tips, the ABC, are like a friend on your shoulder, and you can use them at any time, anywhere. So please join my Mind Circles community. If you're going my website, you can join and you will get newsletters and updates. And of course, please look at my blogs or my podcast. I'm enjoying that. And if you have any topics you'd like me to talk about, then I will try to do that. So listen, have a fabulous, we're just into December. And get the tinsel out. I don't know if I can show you, but I've got a lovely tree. I haven't got the lights on, a tiny little tree there, which was a gift from someone that is really valuable to me. I just loved it, and it's something I can plant later. So I'm really delighted with that. And I've got some tinsel up, and enjoy that. I'll be back next week. So I've got, I think, 2 more. So I don't know what I'll do for, maybe not antlers, I don't know. I'll have something else. But have a fabulous day, and thank you everyone for listening to me again, and virtual hugs, and have a fabulous day. Bye.